All right, Wednesday, another day, another video. And just like always, before I get into the main topic, I want to talk about my debut comic, Night's Fall Eldritch, Chapter 1. It's basically how the Prowler, Dame, and I waging a supernatural war against each other for centuries on end until their latest conflict, which changes everything. And the warfare, or should I say the crusade, basically becomes more of a war of sorts. And so I got 13 followers now. So thank y'all. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can get up to 30. That's a goal of mine. So hey, if you haven't been, haven't signed up to it, it's free of charge. And once it does launch, which will be January 10th of next year, you'll definitely email about it and see what I have to provide. And speaking of providing, here's the main cover. I know. But I also want to say that it does have 27 pages, and it's a adult dark fantasy comic manga. And what I mean by that is it's formatted like a comic, but the art style is manga like. And we try to me and Neff, well, basically, really, honestly, Neff, uh, he he did his best, and honestly, this is just the intro. Again, nothing crazy. I'm not showing anything, not safe for work. But these are the four first pages. So, man, I just love going through this art. I got the variant covers as well. This is an exclusive cover for Kickstarter. So I gotta say compliments to the chef or to the artist. Awesome guy. Also, Carmen Seth is all. The man understood the mission. And then we also have the prototype, which is a black and white cover. So if this is interesting to y'all, I'll leave the link down below in the description. All you to do is just it should say like notify me on this project or launch, and yeah. All right. So with that out of the way, let's get into a more interesting topic, which is something I saw on Twitter. I know, or X, but I understand. I know there's a I always do my videos on X or Twitter or something, but I mean, there's so much going on, man. News wise or just little stuff like this, and I guess this comes from that friend who's too pretentious, and it's like, what's your most pretentious opinion? And this person, and we're not harassing anyone or doing anything like that, but I'm not sure if this is like 40 chess move. It probably is more than likely, but well done to that person because he got the engagement they wanted. He says video games aren't getting worse. You just missed your childhood. And to a degree, yes, that person is right. I do miss my childhood, but the reason why I miss my childhood is not because I want to be a kid. It's because of the stuff that came out. Yeah, sure, the PS1, PS2, heck, even the PS3 and the PlayStation Portal and Xbox and 360. Yeah, they had their limits. Heck, even the Wii, you can consider the Wii was pretty big too. But uh all the limitations of technology back then, we thought were pretty darn good for day and age. I mean, heck, they were accomplishing a lot of stuff, honestly, with just so much hardware and what they had. You didn't really have to worry about putting it in game, having needed it to load first. No, you just pop that sucker in and you start instantly playing. You didn't really have to worry about a lot of bugs on day one or day one patches or anything like that. So there's again, I do miss it, but only because the stuff that we didn't really have to deal with. Nowadays, you got games coming out, and it's like, oh, it's gonna take 2 hours to fully download based on your internet speed, and Lord forbid if you lose connection. The consoles didn't really cost an arm and leg, except for the PS3. But my thing is, it's coming back again with came back again with PS5, where it costs more than the Xbox, and we're throwing a fit about that, and rightfully so. I mean, I wouldn't pay. What was it? How much was it? Almost $600. It's been it's been 4 years, hasn't it? Wow, it's been that long. But you just didn't really have to worry about a lot of stuff just coming out and just being complete, just total failures. Back in the PS2 days, back in the Xbox days, there was very few games that I could think of that didn't do well, but a majority of it was they were excellent. Heck, even they were experimental games. For example, with PS2 and their horror collection, a lot of those games, yeah, were under the horror genre, but some of the stuff they had, the mechanics they implemented in there, they were experimental, and some were for the better. So, and I don't get twisted. I'm not like the new games coming out, all of them suck. No, but we are seeing a majority of this stuff. We are. Let me give you an example here. Man, let me give y'all this example. And hopefully my internet is doing well, because I sound like a garbled mess almost. I apologize for that. But here, this is what I'm talking about right here. Sony closes Concord Studio and permanently shuts down the game. And it was only up for what 2 weeks? I think I might be a little generous. It might have been just a week. But it was only it literally launched, and then a week or two went by. It just shuts down. I mean, and that's not me trying to hate on Sony. I mean, Sony is incompetent nowadays. Don't get me wrong; they are, along with a lot of other uh, or gosh, I can't speak today. I'm sorry. A lot of other companies, but also what about this right here with Activision? This is Black Ops 6 ranked play is already full of hackers just after launch, and I didn't even know about this because I haven't played a Call of Duty game since oh my gosh, since Cold War, and I kind of like Cold War, but it wasn't really. It just wasn't for me. After I love the campaign. The campaign was good, but the multiplayer and zombies I just really couldn't get into like that, and so I stopped. 4 years later. I mean, I just do you know there's something wrong with the gaming culture, the modern gaming culture, when stuff like this is happening hours after just coming out, but yet they want you to pay $70 plus tax, or if you're pre-ordering and you're getting the complete edition or wherever it is nearly like $200 plus tax. It's like, dude, you're getting a that's not even solid. It's just a here, it's coming out, coming out. There, just it's like fast food. That's what it is. That's essentially what gaming is kind of becoming, in my opinion. It's just fast food, just stuff that's doesn't have any substance, doesn't have any longevity, other than just having these weird season passes, or these multiplayer, or it constantly has to be online, even though it's a single player game, which is baffling. Now there are some games that I love that that's been out for a few years. For example, Elden Ring. I love Elden Ring. I was just playing it earlier. I never beat the game. I can't beat the Souls game. I love it. And I just made it to Caelid, and I'm just like, oh man, it reminds me of my of my home, just complete disarray, red skies. Oh, look at that! You got you got the average crackhead trying to follow you home. But I'm sorry, but uh, but seriously, I do want to see the culture heal. And I know back in the day I said I don't want to see it heal. I don't care for it. I'm when I'm thinking about stuff like that, and I'm thinking about it more, I just like, you know what, I I wouldn't mind, but I want indie. I want indie a majority of, just because of all the stuff that AAA has done, the mainstream has done. That's gonna take years. It's gonna take years for them to, well, for me to actually fully support them. Like, and I mean fully support, like buy almost every game that comes out, because I have belief in them. I don't really have belief in them. Not many of them. The ones I do have belief in is Bandai Namco, and that's a little bit iffy. But most of my belief is into like From Software, and that'll keep going until hopefully they don't pull a CDPR with like 20, like what they did with 2077. But you know, I I don't understand how people can get so hyped off of things that are just what can I say? Like, yeah, it's a new game coming out, like Witcher 4, for example. I can't get back into it, stuff like that. I can't. It's just ever since stuff, since like that happened, like for example, I used to be a Konami fan, and then Metal Gear Solid 5 and the whole debacle about that happened, and I was to the point like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that. CDPR with 2077, EA with Mass Effect Andromeda. I could go on and on about stuff, but that's not what I'm trying to focus on, really. Not trying to focus on too much of the negative, but I just want to give examples to y'all, and how I feel about things, and why I think this and that. Now, kind of resuming back, or backtracking to a little bit of The Witcher 4, I seen people talk about like how Siri, like, oh, Siri's gonna be gay in this. And like, you haven't read the books. You haven't read the books. In the books, she was bisexual. Now I question like the around her age, like when she started experiencing that, I question that. But it's been in the books, it's been in there for years. So it's not like that's nothing something new. And even then, it's like you haven't even played Witcher 3, because when you played The Witcher 3 and you did a little series segments, there was this part where she was in that village that was like, I can't remember where it was at, but I just know there was a lot of snow or something. Like, it was a lot of snow, and you were given an option to, like, flirt with the woman or the man, or something like that. Something like that. I can't I can't remember for like me. It's been like 5 or 6 years since I played it. But what I'm trying to say is that those who play the game know exactly what I'm talking about. Those who read the books know exactly what I'm talking about. It's little stuff like that. Now, will CDPR do something out of lore, and do it in bad faith, and try to push like a weird propaganda or something like that? Yeah, I 100% believe that they will, because how many of the original uh, developers that are from Witcher 3, I mean that made Witcher 3, are still there? I don't know if there's many of them. And even if there is a few, I mean, the many the people who weren't there to experience that process, they're going to be outweighed by the many of those people. So it's going to be real interesting. I'm going to definitely watch gameplay of Witcher 4 when it fully comes out, before judging for myself. And if this was me back like, I don't know, like around 2019, 2018, and was getting into The Witcher again because Witcher 3 wasn't my first run in with The Witcher. Actually, I'll be honest, it wasn't my first. It was Witcher 1. It was the first Witcher, but it was through YouTube videos. But I just forgot. I think I mentioned it before in videos long from like a year or two ago. Anyway, I just that's something that kind of just concerns me about stuff too, is about the lore of games, and especially these single player games. People get hooked on the lore of these video games, or just entertainment in general, with that deals with fantasy or fiction. And if you don't have your lore right, or you're constantly changing it, and just and it doesn't make sense, like what Overwatch did with Soldier 76. Like all of a sudden they made him gay. I got nothing against uh gay people, but I just it's just like, dude, you're sacrificing you're the way I look at it is like, you're sacrificing your game to pander to something that is not really necessary. And in the end, you're just hurting yourselves. Just make a good game, make a good story. We don't need to check these boxes, dude. If a character is gay, okay, cool. They can be a great character, and we wouldn't even know that they're gay, or they're whatever or something. Play it smart. Do like how they used to do back in the day. And I'm not saying like hide them or anything like that, but man, they gotta start, like, y'all, they gotta start getting better at writing, because there's no way I'm gonna pay $70 plus tax or whatever for something to be shoved down my throat. And I know I'm not the first one to complain and talk about, like, the use of this stuff in our entertainment, and I surely won't be the last. But we just got to remember some things, because I understand that, when years go by, we forget about things because there's always something happening. It's just how life is. And it's the same thing what I'm seeing now with this, what is it called from Naughty Dog? Intergalactic Prophet of Heresy? The bald chick drinking her smoothie or whatever through a straw. Look, don't get me started on Naughty Dog. We all know what Naughty Dog did back in 2000 back in 2020, when The Last of Us Part 2 was leaked, and they were also manipulating trailers to make it seem like that you're going to be playing as Joel again, even though that wasn't the case. And what a mess. What a giant mess. Now, with this intergalactic prophet, and if this is to be believed with a grain of salt, there's been rumors that a disgruntled Naughty Dog employee already leaked the plot. And what's weird is because I was just like, okay, I started reading it, and then I was like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. It's crazy because that's what I'm talking about. That's the effect um that's the effect of what happens when you treat your customer and your potential customers, your audience, your fans, like they're nothing, just to check off stuff that's on your diverse quota or whatever. And it just kills. It kills your game. It kills excitement for the next game to come out, and it ultimately kills the company. I I don't know what the heck is going on, other than the DI stuff and the the bailouts. Even even developers being let go because they need the company needs to readjust finances because they're failing due to the most stupidest of decisions made. I I don't think I think the bad times within the gaming culture, we're kind of reaching to the point of it coming to an end. Now, granted, it might be a few more years, it might be even a decade, but truly feel like we're coming to an end of that stuff within the mainstream because we are seeing stuff like Stellar Blade come out, and even though I got my opinions about Stellar Blade and I haven't played it yet, but stuff like that, it's the one small step leads to a bigger opportunity down the road, really. So I'm kind of, dare I say, optimistic about it. And I also kind of want to finish this video off like this as well. Uh, Hopefully, I don't do anything too crazy. But I wanted to bring attention to this because this is my response to it with the video games are getting worse. Um, all I did was the images speak for themselves. Just look at it. Now, for those who aren't watching but they're listening, I have images. I got Call of Duty World War, my first Call of Duty game, and then on the right side you have the Nicki Minaj skin from Modern Warfare reboot, and that's all. I didn't even need to say anything. I just put three little dots because I was like, yeah, sure, the games are getting great, but yeah, they're not getting worse or anything. But we have this stuff. We have hackers coming in, already messing up a game hours after launch. You know, a failed multiplayer game that came out that was only out for 2 weeks and was shut down, and people probably didn't get refund. And if they did, I didn't hear anything about it. So yeah, I guess gaming isn't getting worse. Oh, I don't know. Again, this person, I'm not sure if this was a 4D chess move or this is what they truly believe. Don't harass the person or anything. It's just me giving my opinion about stuff, and I'm surprised because a lot of people seem to like this too. 106 likes. So I mean, that's I can scoff at for my for how small my following is and all. And I like talking about these things. Hopefully, I made a lot of sense with this. But in the end, before I end this video, I just want to say, thank you for watching this all the way through. Give it a like, share, uh, dislike, subscribe, all that jazz. Just let me know what you like, what you didn't like, and I'll try to be engaging with y'all. So that's the end of this video. See y'all later. Ciao.